Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I am featuring this will be the last Wiesel replay on my channel until Wargaming fix it. You won't see this tank again on my channel until I go over the nerfs that Wargaming bring to it, because there won't be any other reason to feature this tank, because there's absolutely nothing positive to be found by giving this thing a spotlight. None whatsoever. The only reason I'm showing you this game is because in this game I managed to pull off something that I've been trying to do for quite a long time, so I won't ruin it any further. If you watch the stream that this recording was taken from, then you already know what's going to happen. But if you haven't watched the stream, then well, I won't spoil it. So yeah, the Wiesel. I am recording this video on the Friday after the Wiesel's release. I did my review the day of its release. I did a follow-up recording on the Wednesday. Thursday's gone by, we're now Friday, so some time has gone by between its release and me sitting down here and recording this. In that time, I have had some lengthy conversations with people in Wargaming's main Discord server. I've had lengthy conversations with people in the CC Discord. I've read a lot. I've read almost every comment from the videos that I've released on this tank, and I've read all the comments from people in the main Discord. So I've gathered a lot of information from a lot of different places on this specific vehicle, and I have not read a single comment from anybody saying that this tank is good for the game. I've read comments from people saying that they will buy this thing because they like how powerful it is, but that is not the same as people saying it's good for the game. That says a lot, in my opinion. And one thing that I think is a problem right now is there's a disconnect between the sentiments the community are trying to share and the way in which Wargaming understand what we're trying to say. Now, the reason I say this is because historically, this isn't just a concern of mine, this is a concern of I know at least one of the other there's another CC that shares the same concern as I do. It is that the feedback we give isn't listened to unless it's to tell them to buff something. If a premium tank is terrible and we tell them to buff it, they will, because that's a positive move. But every time there's a problem with a premium, the response tends to be, oh, well, our data says it's fine. It's not winning as much, it's not winning any more than it should. It's not doing more damage than it should. It's, the feedback is kind of just sort of swept under the rug because, well, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I see and conversations I've had with people. But what the sentiment is that if a tank is too good, it's going to be defended by saying, oh, well, the data says it's fine. It's like, well, okay, well, we can't argue with that because we don't see the data. All we have is, what we see in the game, how we feel this plays out in the game. And that Pharaoh's Fury survived way longer than he should have. RNG blessed him there. But what this sort of frustration for me, what it's led to is it's led me to thinking that maybe the words used need to change. The words that the community tends to use are broken, overpowered, toxic, things like that. And for whatever reason, we bring those words to Wargaming, and Wargaming, there doesn't seem to be a connection or an understanding connection between us and them. They hear us, but they don't understand us. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of them, maybe they do understand us. But the sense that what we see, what we feel, is that they don't. And the word, I changed the word that I used, and I apologize if this is again triggering to anyone, because this word does have other connotations in life, but the word I used and the definition I used for it was abuse or abusive. So the definition for that is to use for bad effect or for bad purpose. You're seeing me do that right now. There's an object 120 there, does not have a clue that I'm here. He's not doing anything wrong. He's playing at range, he's playing behind cover, he's playing exactly as a tank destroyer should. And this vehicle, the Wiesel 1, has so many powerful sides to it that it can abuse every other tank in the game. That 120 behind me doesn't even know I'm here, and it doesn't matter to me because I'm in control. I have all the power. I have the ability to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And that, in my opinion, that's an abuse of power. Nothing should be this powerful. And again, here, 120 is right behind me. Doesn't have a clue I'm here because, well, the map is dark. I'm so small, and you probably wouldn't expect... well, we don't expect a small vehicle to be in the game like this. So, for me, again, I apologise if the word is triggering for people, but that's the word I've used. And the reason I've used that word is because you don't measure abuse numerically. It happening once is once too many. There is no, oh, well, it's not quite meeting our definition of abuse. You know, it's not quite... you know, we need something to happen 4 or 5 times before it meets our... Like, no, not 4 or 5 times. Once is too much. And that's what this vehicle is. Once was too much. And I thought we'd learnt the lesson with the Era 3 Wiesel. I thought by now it would be blatantly obvious that this sort of vehicle in the game does nothing good for the game. Absolutely nothing good. All this does is ruin the game for everybody, except those that play it. And there's 2 ways to look at that. 1, it's done intentionally, or 2, it's done unintentionally. And really, it doesn't matter which way you slice that, they're both bad. If you do this intentionally, well, then that's just a scumbag move. There's no other way to look at it. If you've done this intentionally, then yeah, that's not cool, man. That is not cool. Because you're screwing over so many people that play the game. And if this has been done unintentionally or out of ignorance, then, well, that just highlights a heck of a lot, because if you've got the power to introduce something like this to the game and you're doing it ignorantly, yeah, that's that's bad. I mean, if I were to go out there and start telling people what needs to happen with World War II when I don't even play World War II, my viewers would rip me apart. And I would get ripped apart by the other CAs and other CCs, because they would say, hey, you need to check yourself. You haven't got a damn clue what you're talking about. So if this has been introduced out of ignorance, again, I would hope that the folks in wargaming that understand the point that I'm making here would say, hang on, that's not cool. You're not in a position to make that cool, because you don't play light. I don't know. You don't play light tank. All right, we'll just say you don't play light tanks. You're not in a position to make that cool. You don't play this vehicle. You don't play this type of vehicle. You don't know anything about it. You don't know how they play. You don't know how powerful they are. So there you go. That's my kind of ad hoc take on where we are right now. I really do hope this thing gets a nerf, because it is not good. This is not good. This is not the way the game needs to be going, in my opinion anyway. So anyway, I've just completely spoken over the end there. Let's put the ending back up on the screen here. So MVP screen, 3rd place with 0 damage. That's what I've been trying to achieve for such a long time. So There you go, guys. There's the result that I wanted to bring you. This is probably the last time you'll see the Wiesel one on my channel. If you do see it again, it'll be because I'm covering the changes, the nerfs, whatever they might be. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.